Yes, that's right, we are back. And today I'm pretty excited because I'm going to be going for a new one, the Slappy nose slide. Now so far I've offered up the Slappy board slide and I've had loads of fun learning that. And I'm hoping there's a few little things that will have in similarity to the Slappy nose slide. Now I've had a little session on the Slappy nose slide and so far I've sort of come in, offered up the Slappy nose stall and then tried to put in a little bit of angle, and I've sort of ended up with a bit of a Slappy nose pivot. So coming out fakey, coming in regular. Now there's a couple of things that have come to the fore as things to watch out for. First one is the board is not really tall enough to just ride straight onto the curb. So I found I need to do a little hop just to get the nose up. And the worry there is to hop a little bit too much and go over the top and also mistime it and not go far enough. And I found it was pretty worrying, sort of jamming my ankle into a curb. All sorts of chances of that emotional rolly ankle. So I've got to watch out for that one. There's another thing I found was putting my foot on the nose to come in for the nose slide meant that I sort of had a foot on either end of the board. And that meant that when I bailed, I needed to jump off with both feet at the same time. If I tried to sort of take one foot off, there was every chance the board would go with me, and I managed to come a cropper doing that one. I think today's goal would be to try and get a little bit of nose slide. I think the ones that I've managed to get to slide have sort of come along and done a few inches, and I'm finding it really hard to come in and put all my weight on my front foot to get that nose to slide. I also found that I'm having trouble bending the knees as usual. I sort of look like a giraffe taking a drink when I'm doing it, and that's just because I'm scared of the whole thing. And I know it won't come out in the video, but I find this whole process pretty frightening. There's a chance of slipping off the back when it does go. There's a chance of coming off the front. Also, trying to keep my feet on to come off. I don't think coming off is too tricky. It sort of tends to happen because you're only a few inches off of the deck. But there is a chance for an emotional dismount at all points. I think another thing that's going to help me to slide is a little bit of wax. So I think with curbs, waxing is fine. So another little tip I saw online was just to wax the side of the curb where the wheels go, just so you can get the wheels to slide should they get jammed in against the side of that curb. So the wax the top, give it a bit of a waxing just to start with. Oh. Well, I'm starting to get a feel for that Slappy nose pivot, just coming in on a bit of an angle, front foot on the nose. Then as I approach the curb, just trying to get the timing with soft knees of bouncing, hopping up, getting that nose on there and then keeping my feet on the board as it sort of pivots round. I'm trying to ride away with soft knees. I do feel like a giraffe taking a drink. I'm just sort of trying to stay away from it all. So I need to accept that a bit more. So now I'm going to start going for a little bit of slide. And I think what I need to do is come in, keep my knees bent and try and put more weight on that front foot, and that'll allow me to be over the curb for longer, and hopefully that'll get the slide going. Whoa! Oh. Oh, that feels pretty scary for that one. I just tried to keep my front knee slightly soft and sort of push into it, and as I did, oh, came off the back. So she's pretty slidey. I think I just need to put more weight over that front foot. If I can just come off just a little bit of a slide, maybe just a nose width, that will be progress. Okay, that felt like a few inches of slide. Well, actually it felt like I went for about 6 foot, but I know in reality was probably a nose width. But the thing I changed there was I got a little bit more courageous on that front foot. And it seems to be the trick. The more weight I can put on that front foot and the more I can keep that knee bent as I'm on it, the better it slides. And it's pretty counterintuitive because one would think not putting weight on that would help it slide and putting weight on it would add more friction, but I think it's just working a treat if I can get over it. And also the bit more pump. When I say pump, I'm going along and I'm literally trying to sort of whoosh my body down it, and I found that was a good trick for the board slide. If I could come in on the board slide and whoosh myself down. So I'm going to keep going with this, a bit more speed and a bit more commitment. Oh, oh, that felt like it slid. Oh, okay, definitely a bit of slide there. I'm feeling like the board is not coming up, and I'm wondering if that would help. At the moment, I'm sort of sliding on just a small bit of the board. Maybe a bit more nose would happen. So just need to keep that back leg up a bit, I think. I've changed my line to go more adjacent to the curb now, so I'm carrying more speed along the curb. And I think even with poor technique, I'm starting to get a few inches of slide because the nose hasn't really got much choice. But it does make getting into it a little bit trickier just because I've got to time that nose pivot. And also I'm finding that the more weight I can put on that front leg, the better. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try and put too much weight on it, see if I can go over the top, because at the moment I'm just coming off the inside every try. Oh, that one felt like the first one I sort of locked into and started to travel a little bit on. I want to get it more convincing, but that felt really nice. I was definitely more over the front foot that time. So I think if I keep eating away at this, just get the special bar up, get the confidence to stand on that front foot. It's just, my body doesn't like it. It doesn't like the feel of being over that front knee. Just feels like all hell's going to break loose, could end up in an emotional dismount. Let's keep going. Oh, that one felt nice. It made a good whooshing sound for a millisecond as it slid. I'm going to put a little bit more wax where the wheels go. I'm not getting any wheels squeak, but every little helps. Oh! I started off with my front foot sort of in the pocket, but I'm finding that it feels best to have that front foot up a bit further on the nose, almost like the front of the shoe lining up with the front of the board. And that seems to provide a bit of a nicer place to try and slide on. It gets a bit more confidence going. So I'm going to keep going with that front foot placement, a little bit more knee bend. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh, that one slid a lot better, but I didn't have my back leg up enough, so it sort of power slid at the end. Took me by surprise, but I think if I can combine that with a little bit more back wheel clearance, could slide for a bit longer. Oh, that is it for this video, and it's a lot of sweaty fun. I think I'm going to melt. I managed to get a couple of micro slides on the nose, just enough to get a feel for how it might feel. I reckon I need a few more sessions on this, but for 45 minutes, I don't think it was too bad. Once I got a feel of the nose stall and then getting that nose stall into a pivot, that sort of took my mind off the nitty gritty of getting into it, and then I could concentrate on the real key point, which was to try and add some speed, come alongside the curb on entry, and then most importantly, keep the knee bent on the front knee and try and put all my weight on it whilst taking the weight off the back foot. And it was just establishing the timing of those things when they all went right, managed to slide a little bit, and when I got it really right, it slid out from underneath me. So a little bit more practice. I reckon next session it'd be good to try and get the slide controlled so that I could come back out to regular. At the moment, I think coming back out to fake is quite easy because the board is going that way anyway. I think this is a logical next step after the Slappy board slide. So if you've got the Slappy board slide and you want the next one to try, this one isn't too tricky, and I didn't really find any emotional dismount action, luckily. But I think as I add some more speed to this and get a bit more daring, the emotional dismount could definitely take place. So let me know what you think of the Slappy nose slide in the comments below. As ever, my name's been John Bishop, and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to skate.